Hi, welcome to the Coffee Chat Show here on Buzzin Pattaya, the show where we talk about things that are happening right here, right now, as general news, tips, information and advice. Now, welcome back to part 2. Larry, how you doing, my man?
Well,
you're looking good. You're looking good.
I feel good.
Yeah, I mean, same shirt, same everything. You know, you're looking dapper, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know. Now, we're here, in case you're not sure where we are, we're here at Witherspoons in Soy Buakhao. If you remember the old Witherspoons, which was further down towards LK Metro, we've come up now towards the Archon restaurant area and come up and see Dean. They've done a fantastic job on there. It's lovely.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's brilliant.
It really, nice. You know, and I'll tell you what, when you walk past, I made this mistake. I thought, oh, it looks a bit small. Dudes, it's right the way back. Like, we're sat right at the back here. It's a big, big place. So come up, say hello to Dean, say hello to the staff here at Witherspoons. Come and get some food and have a few beers when you're allowed. But that's where we are here. Now, sir, part 1, we spoke about your travels and the way you've managed to get yourself here, and obviously the famous Pattaya to Bangkok train, that wonderful experience. But you didn't just come here and just put your feet up, did you? You got yourself out there and in the nightlife.
Not intentionally.
Okay. What, you just slipped into it?
Well, how it began was I arrived and I was 49, so I retired, and I didn't want to work anymore. I didn't want to work. So I came over and didn't work for a year, and then I joined I was a big member of the FLB Forum.
Okay.
The old FLB Forum.
Oh, yeah.
And the manager of the FLB, the last manager they had, opened up Secrets. And I was a big member of the Secrets board, a big poster. I posted a lot. And he contacted me one day. He said, well, come on, let's have dinner. So we had dinner, and he said to me, well, why don't you come over and work with our forum? He says, I'll give you a section. We'll call it the steam room, and you can moderate that and generate traffic. And I said, yeah, I'll give that a try. So I started doing that, which led to, and the bar wasn't even open at the time. They were still building it.
Okay.
And that led to me being a full-time moderator. And one of the owners of Secrets decided that he didn't want to work the afternoon shift. So I was offered the job of running it in the afternoons, because we were open early morning till late night. And I took that and then became what do you call it? A route admin in the forum. And after the owner decided that he didn't really want to spend a lot of time in the bar, I ended up working through the nights. Wow. So it was a good thing. I mean, Secrets, when it opened up, the first few years, I know this is going to sound funny, but the first few years I was really naive because we didn't have a low season. The first 2 or 3 years, I mean, business was a little bit lower, but it was like we didn't have a low season. And I worked for some good guys. I mean, there was Steve, there was Derek, there was Danny was there. I mean, just a bunch of really good guys. Alan that put the kitchen together. And it was a fun job. It was a fun job.
When you took the job on and the bar opened, and the first day you walked in and there's like 50, 60 girls, how many girls you had, did you sit back and look and go, what am I doing?
Well, I did I wasn't managing it when it opened up. I was still running the forum. But opening night, it was unbelievable because there were like 60 or 70 girls, and I was like, holy Toledo. And
that's a lot of Thai lesson instructors.
Yeah. I remember that night because I said to the owner, I said, you know, we got a problem there. Customers here, they can't get a drink. We're so busy. And he said, that's okay. And I thought to myself, well, how can that be okay? And he said to me, he said, Larry, if they're leaving because they can't get a drink, they're going to want to come back to see what it was all about.
Yeah, I like that. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And eventually they did. I mean.
And how long were you at Secrets for?
I was at Secrets for about 7 years, 7.5 years.
7 years. So, I mean, I know I'm just going to put you on the spot now with a question, and let's keep the answer within the realms of what we're doing right now. I mean, you've obviously seen a huge amount of things go on in 7 years in Secrets. I mean, what are some of the things you can think, God, yeah, I remember when this guy did this or this girl did that? I mean,
I had an Australian customer come in, and he'd been following me on the forum, and he came in and he was so happy to meet me, and I introduced him to a few translators and found one he liked, and hired her for her services, translation services for, a few days. And I get a message from him when he goes back home. He says, Larry, I've sold everything out. I'm coming to Thailand. I'm going to build a house up in the village. And I told him, I said, well, you may want to think twice about that. I said, I said, she's a lovely girl and all that goes with it. But, anything can happen. No. The old proverbial, she's different.
We've heard that a million times. Yeah, she's different.
So, and she was a nice girl, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So he went up there, built the house, came to town. He was so happy. We went to dinner, and he says, well, I got to go home. The house is built. They're ready. They're moving stuff in. I'm really excited. I'm going home to finish off all the paperwork. Then I'm coming back, and I'm going to be here. And she was about 20, and he was about 70. Oh. So he gets back here, and he flies into Bangkok, and he comes to Pattaya for one night, and we go to dinner. And the guy's just really excited. I mean, he's really excited. He gets up to the country, and surprise, knocks on the door. Thai gentleman opens the door. Yeah. He said, well, where is my translator? What are you talking about? He says, well, this is my house. Oh, this is not your house. Well, she appears at the door and says, I'm real sorry. And of course, everything was in her name.
Yeah.
And this guy had sold out everything. He comes back to Pattaya and tells me the story, checks into Secrets one night, checks out, and I never heard from him again. I don't know what happened. Wow. I mean, I don't think he did anything crazy, but.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, and the sad thing is that, like you just said then, oh, she's different. I say this a lot. I say it a lot on the channel, and you've just reiterated that when you do come here, you've got to think up here and get the crystal clear picture, a reality picture, because it is paradise, it is fantasy land, and of course,
you're paying for the illusion.
Exactly, and you've seen it far more than I've been working in the industry like you do. These girls are very switched on. They're very switched on.
Trevor, I'll tell you something. When I was coming on holiday, I would look in the mirror in the evening before I went out, and I would look at myself and I'd go, I feel sorry. I said, if I was a translator, I wouldn't want to go with me.
Yeah, learn a different language, mate. Go on, jog on. Yeah. So you were there 7 years?
Give or take a few months.
And then you've made the now, did you make the transition, because obviously from there you went to Babydolls. Was that an immediate transition, or did you take some time out before you went over to Babydolls?
Well, if you recall at Secrets, or you may not know this, but I got arrested at Secrets.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got arrested.
Should I be worried?
There was let's just say it was a misunderstanding. Anyway, I did 4 hours at the Gray Bar Hotel. That's all I ever did. All the charges ended up being dropped. But at that point, I said to myself, I don't really want to work in a place that has rooms on premises.
Right, understood.
But I did stay there a little while longer and worked, and then I just decided that I didn't want to do it. And I fell out with the main owner. Nobody gets along with everybody forever.
Sure, yeah.
And he's the owner. I mean, you're not, why is he going to listen to me? Who am I, at the end of the day? So I fell out with him, and but that was funny, because when I decided to leave, Terry Lee I had called Terry Lee and I'd said, I told the owner that I was done. I was just finished. And Terry says, well, you want to work? And I says, well, I probably will want to earn somewhere. And he says, okay, you're hired. And this was basically on the walk from quitting Secrets to getting on the bus to going home.
Wow.
And a week later, we talked with him and his partner Lee, and we came to terms, which was very beneficial to me, and I went to work at Babydolls.
Damn. So first day in Babydolls. I mean, those of you that know about Babydolls will know about Babydolls. Those of you that don't, you missed out. I'm sorry, because it's gone now. I remember coming in there to do the photography and the videos, and I was thinking, oh Lord. I mean, what was your thoughts when you walked through the door? I mean, you must have known, I guess you knew what was...
Well, I was a customer.
Right, okay.
And I was a friend of Ricky's. And I mentioned Ricky because Ricky was the first manager of Babydolls.
Okay.
And Ricky made that bar. I don't care who owned it. Ricky made that bar what it was. And when we went in, all I could hope for was keeping it at his standard. I mean, that's how good the man is.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I love Ricky. He's
I've nicknamed Ricky. I'm the guy that gave him the nickname the Go-Go Godfather.
Yeah.
I mean, he just is. I learn a lot from him. I miss Pandora not being open because I like to go sit with him for an hour or so, and we just talk about old times. He's coughing and
spluttering away, isn't he?
Ricky's a top guy. If none of you have ever been to Pandora's, when they open up again, that's a place you got to go to.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
It's like a mini baby doll.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean,
without the jacuzzi.
So, I mean, baby dolls. We all see the glory side. We all see the fun side because, and you know, everyone's jealous. Oh, it's all right for you. You're working in there. You're lucky. Blah blah blah. What's the actual reality of actually being in the industry on the front line? What's it really like?
It has its pitfalls, of course. I used to like to use the term. It's like herding cats.
Okay.
Working with groups of girls, but I was fortunate. I mean, there were some that really didn't like me and didn't like the way I did things, but I always did things. I always felt I was a customer manager. Mm-hmm. You know, if the customer had a problem. Now, I always had to listen. If a customer came back and said, well, I had a translator and she was very inept at translation, mm-hmm. I want my money back for the translation course. And I say, well, wait a minute. I said, you know, if I give you your money back and I don't listen to what happened,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I lose all the staff's respect. Mm. And a couple times, I mean, there was one, the guy wanted to videotape the translation. Oh, dear. And I said to the guy, I said, look, that doesn't work. Yeah, it just doesn't work. I mean, you know, you can't do it. And so he didn't get his money back. I never saw the guy again, and it's unfortunate. Yeah. But things happen. And so you've got to take the staff's information into consideration, because if you don't, you've got a really bad problem.
Good question I want to ask you now. Now, you mentioned about the guy wanting to videotape the translation. One of the things I say to people on the channel, because a lot of people ask me, you know, obviously as a photographer in the area, blah, 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 I get to go in all the bars and do the photography. How many people have you ever caught in Baby Dolls or in Secrets trying to take a sneaky picture?
You know, in Secrets, we actually allowed it.
Did you?
Because there was no.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, it wasn't like baby.
It was like hostess uniforms.
Yeah.
So we allowed it in Secrets. And matter of fact, most of the girls, they really liked the photos.
Okay.
So that was a plus. And in Secrets, we had a disclaimer, and I'm the guy that actually wrote it up.
Right.
And it basically said, we can use your photo for promotional purposes during your employment as well as after your employment.
Right.
And we had a English, Thai, a picture of their ID card.
Oh, okay. Well,
and their signature.
Yeah.
And we had a solicitor had looked it over and said, yeah, that's binding. Because there was one gentleman who called after he married a Secrets girl and says, well, I want all this stuff removed. He didn't ask. He just said, I want it removed.
Yeah.
And it was never removed, but I had a couple people that called me and said, Larry, do you mind doing this or doing that? And I did it like that.
Yeah, I've had a similar experience with a girl, I won't mention her, but she was working in one of the translation areas in LK Metro. I did loads of pictures of her. She was a very popular girl, and anyway, long story short, she's now off doing what she's doing, etc., within another country. And the guy's like you said, you got to take it off. I don't have to do anything, my friend. Like, I was paid by the company to do it, so I don't have to do anything. No, you've got to take it off. Well, I'll tell you what, you go to the company. But like you said, I've had people also say to me, look, mate, I see you posting these pictures on other groups that, like, well, I'm with her now. Would you mind just, not? Yeah, of course, drama. No drama. I've got millions of pictures. I don't need to pick that one. But, I mean, in terms of baby dolls, did you ever catch anybody?
A couple of times, but we caught them early in the filming or the videoing or the picture taking. And we just removed it, kicked
well, that's a polite way of saying don't do it, because in every bar here, in every go-go bar, there are clearly visible signs saying do not take pictures. Do not take it. And I remember I was in Showgirls. I was in Showgirls in the LK Metro once, taking some videos and photos, and this guy came up and said, "Excuse me, fella." I'm like, "Yes, mate. You can't take pictures." "Sorry?" He said, "You can't take pictures. Look at the sign." And I'm like, dude, I'm their photographer.
I had the same thing happen. I said, I manage a bar. I said,
but the warning is, guys, if you are trying to think of taking a sneaky pic, trust me, I'm not going to go into detail. Larry's here, and I'm sure Larry will reiterate what I'm going to say.
Thai security will.
There you go. Enough said. The Thai security will stop you from taking the pictures, and they will delete the pictures in one way or another, and you know, it's not worth it.
Do you remember Coyotes?
Yes.
You remember TJ? I don't know if you remember TJ.
I know the name. I can't picture.
Okay, well, he was involved with Coyotes, and I had a good friend come over from the States, and he went in, and he didn't take the pictures knowing he wasn't supposed. He just started taking pictures. Well, he almost got a real good kicking because not just the camera taken, because he was one of these guys. Well, what do you mean I can't take pictures?
Yeah. It's just not worth it, guys. You know, there's people like me that will do it, so you can just look at them. But anyway, so baby dolls. I mean, there was a few people there that you worked for, wasn't there?
Little Paul. We called him Little Paul because he was little.
Yeah.
He worked. I worked with him when I first. Well, I worked with Phil for a while. For a few nights a week, I would go in and sit with Phil and deal with some customers. But when I went to work there, in actuality, it was with Little Paul, and he went on from there to Champaign. And before Babydolls, he worked at Paradise for Johan when Johan had Paradise. And I worked with Brett, which a lot of people may not know because he wasn't as popular a guy, not very well known. And he was supposed to go to work, I guess, for Miami, and that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Well, I remember he had business cards done because I had one. I thought I did. In any event, and then I worked with Paul Patterson.
Oh, great guy.
Many people know as PSP, super guy.
Yeah.
And Paul, if you see this, we know that Noe is in not feeling well, and we wish her the best, and hopefully she's better soon.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, Paul. We're thinking of you, mate. All the best. Absolutely top guy. Top guy.
Paul and I knew each other because we were moderators on the Secrets board at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And I knew Paul when he was a moderator on the Secrets board. Then he went to work for, I think his first managing job was Lenny's.
Right.
That Manford owned. And then Andy took him out of there to Misty's, where he stayed for quite a while. Yeah. And I think he left Misty's. He didn't come directly from Misty's to Babydolls. He left, I believe. And then they hired him he was the last manager I worked with at Babydolls.
Right. With all the bars here and all the places, is there a go-go bar what you look back in time and you think, do you know what, I'd love to have worked there, I'd love to have managed that place? Is there one that slipped through the net and you think, given the chance, I'd love to go back there and manage that?
You know, honestly, I don't think so. But I wish, if I was going back to work, I wish Babydolls was still operating, and I'd like to go back there.
Yeah.
It was just fun. I mean, it was like family. You know, the girls, you know, we would eat together before we worked, and we would laugh and joke, and I mean, it was just, and whenever you'd see them on the street, they'd come up and give you a hug and a kiss, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I was close to them. And I know I did something right. This is a funny story because the other day I'm walking home and a motorbike passes me and I hear a scream, but I don't understand what's going on. Well, about 20 feet further, the motorbike stops. Girl jumps off the back but got a mask on and runs toward me, arms open. And it's a girl that used to work for me at Babydolls. I not see you so long, Larry. How are you? Give me a big kiss. How are you doing? How's everything?
Wow.
And it makes you feel good because you know you did something right. You can't please them all.
Yeah, I must admit, I mean, when obviously as a photographer, you know, you walk in and they were just brilliant. They'd be like, oh, couldn't see you take my picture today. I'm like, yeah, and I'm trying desperately, while you were telling that story, I'm desperately trying to think of, who is the girl that worked there? She was a bit older, she'd been there a long time.
Yo-Yo. Or Juan, yeah, she was awesome. I mean, I'll tell you what, she was just, because she used to wear like cut hair and then she'd have long hair and Well, the good thing about Juan was she could translate and did any language.
Oh yeah, my lord.
And of all the times that she translated, I can honestly tell you, I never had somebody come back and say, I don't think, you know, I think I paid too much for the translation service.
Oh, she was so funny, so funny.
But I'm sure many of the viewers remember Yo-Yo. There's a quick story about her when Terry Lee and his partner Lee took Babydolls over. I wasn't involved at the time, I was at Secrets, but I heard the story. They took it over, and the windmill owner owned it at the time, and he apparently was asking the girls to leave there and go to work for him at Windmill now because he sold the bar. And Yo-Yo, I guess, voiced her opinion and told all the girls, hey, we haven't worked for these new people. Why don't we see what happens? And thanks to her, she's probably the glue that kept most of those girls there from the beginning, and then it was run properly and they stayed.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but a lot of your viewers will know Yo-Yo.
Yeah. Well, if you remember Yo-Yo, guys, drop a comment below. But remember the comment platform you're commenting on. Don't go mad. We'll get shut down. I mean, in terms of, you know, people that are outside this network, I mean, one of the things that we get often like trolled about is like Pattaya is like Sin City and we're all perverts and all the rest of it. I mean, working as the actual person working in, I mean, did you ever have any of those kind of like badges stuck to you and people saying, oh, you're just this or you're just that? I mean, did you ever kind of get that tarnish?
I didn't, but I'll tell you, when I went to work at Secrets, about 6 months in, I started to feel like a morality check, strange as it sounds. And I spoke with one of the owners and he said, you know, Larry, maybe you're right. Maybe we just get rid of all the translators and we turn this into a hostess bar, or we turn it into a sports bar. So we don't have any translators. Maybe you're right. He was being facetious. He said, but what do you think's going to happen to the staff? Well, they're going to go next door and work. He said, at least we've got the knowledge and knowing that we take care of them, we look after them. And from that point on, that's how I thought about it.
Did you ever think about opening your own place?
No, but I had an offer from a gentleman who had some guest houses in Phuket. And you know the little beer bar on the corner of 15 and 14? It's now Easy.
Oh, God.
Something. It used to be Cat's Corner.
Yeah,
and it's right there.
I don't know the name, but I know where you are.
He wanted to buy it, give me sweat equity in it, a salary, and the two-bedroom room up top. And I turned him down, and people said, well, why? I mean, it's good money, a place to stay. I just, you know, I know that I'd be getting knocks on the door at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, so-and-so's here to see you.
Yeah.
Well, let's come down and see them. And recently I've been approached by an entertainment group, I got to leave it at that, in the Philippines to come over and work in Angeles. And I told them I wasn't interested, but they want me to come over to do some consulting. And I'm planning on doing that as soon as the borders open up. But it'll be like a month here, a month there. But other than that, no, I'm happily retired.
All those years ago when you came here, 17 years now, isn't it? 17?
Something like that.
Yeah, so all those years ago you come here, I mean, obviously you came here retired, then you've got involved with stuff, forums, etc. Then you've been in the hands-on management side of things with the bars, etc. And then you've gone all through this. When you look back, is there anything you think, do you know what, if I could relive those 17 years, I'd change? Done them again.
Think so.
I nearly got you in part one.
I don't think so.
No?
I really don't think so. You know, when I went to work, the only reason I really went to work was because they offered stupid money. You know, people say that managers here don't make any money. Well, in the end, with perks and all, I was on 1,000 US a week at Secrets. I mean, it was, but you know, that's when there was money to be made.
Yeah.
And now, I just don't think there's that much money to be made.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not what it was. Secrets, it's hard to explain. I mean, we had our yacht, we had our cars, we picked up people, the taxi service, we had the restaurant, we had the hotel, we had the nightlife. I mean, you know, we covered all bases.
Living the dream. Living the dream, guys. See, there you go, living the dream. This man's lived to tell the tale as well. Not just lived the dream, but lived to tell the tale.
It was fun. It was fun.
So we're coming up towards the end now of our interview. It's been fantastic talking to you. I really, really have appreciated you taking the time out. I really, really enjoyed this.
Memory lane.
I think one of the things that I've got to ask you then is, you know, when you look back in time, when you look back at your time here in Pattaya and Thailand as a whole, I know you've done a lot of traveling. If I was to say to you, what's your best memory of something you've done here, be it here or be it in Bangkok or when you've been traveling, what's the one thing you look back and think, do you know what, that was the best time of my life?
One event.
One event.
Every year, the boss, one of the other owners at Secrets, the first 4 years I worked there, we would go to Bangkok for 2 nights. And we would stay at the Marriott, I can't think of it. It's down by the embassy, the U.S. Embassy, Mayfair Marriott. And we got suites, and we went out. Well, we went out the first night, and we got a tour group of 16 translators for the 4 of us, so that, because some spoke different languages.
Oh dear.
And that was just a night. We bribed the guy the security guy at the pool, so he turned the lights on so we could use it at 3 in the morning. The girl, the translators, the girls came from the dollhouse in Cowboy.
Okay, yeah.
And that, I mean,
yeah,
that was just a night.
You learned a lot.
Oh.
Your translation went well.
It was unbelievable. But every year on my birthday, we would go and have a few nights in Bangkok.
Fantastic, mate. Fantastic.
It was
brilliant.
good times.
Well, there you go. I mean, 17 years here. Larry's been in Secrets. He's been in Babydolls. And if you didn't know about Babydolls and you've not been here, you missed out, guys. I'm sorry, because it really was one of those places that when you went in once, you were like, holy my Lord. So, yeah. My man, thank you so much. Been absolutely brilliant. What a super guy. What a really lovely guy. If you do see Larry around, say hello to him. Just talk to this guy. He knows, well, he's forgotten more than I know about this place. That's how knowledgeable he is. He really is a lovely, lovely guy. So if you do see Larry around, pop and say hello. He's a smashing guy. All right, guys. Well, that's it. That's the end of our part 2 here with Larry. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the show. As always, I will be back next week with another guest. Remember, guys, if you're in the Soy Buakhao area, check up and come up seeing With the Spoons here. Come and see what's going on, and put your head through the door. And when we can play pool, there's a pool table over there. So you know what I'm saying? If you fancy it, you know where I am, guys. Come on, we're going to do it sooner or later. And Paul, once again, if you are watching, my friend, all the best to your family, my friend. We are thinking of you. All the best, my man. All the best. All right, guys, that's it from me today. So as always, please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when we bring out a new video. Check out Discord. 1,700 people are on there, all like you, with an interest in Pattaya. They're sharing stories, they're talking about experiences, etc., etc. It really is a fantastic forum. Have a look, check it out, and join our members area. More and more members are joining each and every week, and I'm busy going out speaking to different bars and restaurants, and when the drinking's allowed back, you get a free shot if you go into any bar wearing either a Buzzin t-shirt or you've got your digital ID card. How cool is that? And if you're thinking about t-shirts, check out the email in the link below, and we've got about 7 or 8 different designs now. It's all going good. Right, guys, that's it from me. That's it from Larry. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and please, as always, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.